just talk Nvidia. It's a stock we know very well. We ultimately think you can get Nvidia lower than where it's trading today. We are likely to take gains between 120 and 150. This is from work that is primarily based on technicals. But if you look at the valuation has finally caught up to the fundamentals. There was a time when I was speaking about this stock where I kept saying this thing is very low. This valuation is very low. It kept coming in 300%, 400% EPS growth, even up to 600%. Very hard for a valuation to catch up to that. But now it has. And if you look at the valuation, it's looking toppy. And we have about 6 to 9 months before Blackwell arrives. Blackwell will exceed Hopper. And
for those who may be familiar, what is Blackwell?
Blackwell is the new generation of GPUs that will allow for training trillion parameter large language models. So there's two words, if I can, there's two words that NVIDIA investors should know. Hopper, which is the generation that gave us all the gains and that big AI moment that you've seen most recently. And Hopper brought to market ChatGPT because it has a transformer engine. So that piece, you've seen those gains, you've seen this skyrocketing of earnings and revenue. Blackwell is the next generation of GPUs, and it arrives next year, 2025. And what Blackwell does is lowers total cost of ownership by 25x, leverages memory a little differently by combining a CPU and a GPU. You can run large language models in memory. And lastly, it combines 36 GPUs and 72 GPUs to think like one. So now you can go, the bottleneck that is happening in AI development is now moving forward with Blackwell. So we have some time. That is a long time to a tech investor when you have a stock trading at high valuation and you have your technicals guy saying this was the price target where I thought this stock would top all along a year ago, maybe more. It could maybe stretch to 170. We think that's getting to be very high risk. The probability favors us buying it lower. So we're actively managed. That's the active management piece, meaning we don't just white knuckle long-term buy and hold. Couldn't have a higher conviction in Nvidia. That gives you an example of actively managing. We bought Nvidia at the low in October of 2022 with same methodologies. We'd like to repeat that
No, of
if
course.
possible.
Like a repeatable process pays for it many times over if it's good. So that's a heck of a call. That's a bold call. I mean, I think about, my simplistic, non-micro hat, when I think about earnings, if you have a catalyst on the horizon, certainly within a next 12-month time horizon, that is clearly and obviously positive for earnings, I think it feels like you're playing with fire by sort of, being tactical in that context. But in the context of everyone obviously being already extremely long and exposed to NVIDIA, perhaps that's not the case.